This is Thomas Steenberg reading a transcript from my file, Alberta file 50013, the Al Frockledge interview. Mr. Frockledge's encounter occurred in the 7 Mile Recreation Area near the Clearwater River, Alberta. The date was August of 1984. Now, I'm reading this transcript because the original recording with the witness was done in the old days, with a handheld tape recorder, was never meant for publication, and the sound quality is so bad I'm afraid you folks may not be able to hear what he says clearly. So I'm going to do this reading of the file so you can get a good idea of what he says. Again, this is Mr. Al Frockledge, location 7 Mile Recreation Area, Clearwater River, Alberta, the date August 1984. Question: what province did this incident occur? Answer: Alberta. Question: what date did this take place? Answer: first week of August 1984. Question: was it at night or day? Answer: it was at night, about 8:30 p.m. It was getting dark. Question: describe the area in which it took place. Answer: basically, I was walking down a cut line. It was a heavy, thick, dense bush on the left side. I was basically heading due north. I was walking, and it was really quiet. It felt like something was watching me. I turned around. It was a slow type of walk, slowing right down. I heard something in the bush. I glanced to the left, to see what it was. I figured it might have been a range cow or something like that. I couldn't see any other cattle around. I saw something that appeared to be about 12 feet tall. Roughly. Where I was standing, it was thick, heavy bush that come up to about 8 feet, 6 to 8 feet. There was thick, heavy pine behind it, and it was up against the hill a little bit, so it was really fairly dark. I saw something that looked between a black and brownish color, just its head moving. I saw it move for 2 or 3 or maybe 5 feet possibly. Okay. Then it disappeared off into the heavier bush. I could hear the footsteps, but every 3 seconds I would hear a loud thud through the deadfall. And like I said, it was strange because you couldn't hear anything at all. Like usually you can hear crickets or frogs that time of night because there is some swampy area in there. But it was so quiet you can almost hear your heartbeat. Question: what distance would you estimate you were from the thing when you saw it? Answer: oh, I would say 40 feet maybe. Question: what was your first reaction? Answer: when I saw it, like I said, I stood there for a minute and just listened to it walk. About every 3 seconds, I would hear a loud thud as its foot hit the ground. And I knew whatever it was watching me still, So I hightailed it out of there. I walked down another cut line, which was about 50 feet from the one I was on. They run parallel. So I just hightailed it down to the second cut line to the campground. I didn't tell my wife about it that night in case she got worried and could not sleep. But I told her the next day that I had seen something strange in the bush. And that was it. Question: what was it doing when you first saw it? Answer: gee, I couldn't really tell you because all I saw was its head. Question: did it stand walking 2 legs? Answer: I would say yes, because of the sound of it walking through all the deadfall. Question: did you ever see it go down on 4 legs? Answer: no. Was it covered in hair? Answer. The head was. Question. What color was it? Answer. Brownish black. Question. How tall would you estimate the thing to have been? Answer. I thought it was about 12 feet tall. Question. What would you estimate its weight to have been? Answer. By the sound of it walking, very heavy. At least 1,300 pounds, I think. Question. Did you see any facial features? Answer. No, it was too dark. Question. Could you describe its arms? Answer. No. That part of the body was behind the bushes. All I saw was its head. Question. Could you see if it was male or female? Answer. No. Question. How long did you see this thing for? Answer. Oh, I'd say that I saw it for maybe 15 seconds as it walked towards the bigger trees. I would guess that I heard it for another minute as it walked away through the deadfall. It seemed to slow down as it walked into the thicker bush, because at first I could hear the thud of its footsteps every second, and then it seemed every 3 seconds, I stayed there for about a minute, because there was a space of time, like about 30 seconds, where I didn't hear it anymore. And then all of a sudden I heard it again, and that's when I decided to hightail it, because it didn't seem like it was going to leave, and I really didn't want to hang around and find out what it was. Question. Did it ever make any noise? Answer. No, it didn't make any noise at all. Question. Did it see you? Answer. I would say yes. It had to. That's why it walked off into the bush. I think that it was watching me from the bush. You could see me, but I couldn't see it. Question. Did you smell any powerful odor before or during this sighting? Answer. No. Question. After the creature moved off, did you check for footprints? Answer. No. Question. Did you report what you saw to park officials or police? Answer. No. Question. Did you report to anyone? Answer. No. I mentioned it to a couple of guys once in a while having a coffee at Montgomery and Denzer, but they thought I was crazy or something. I told my wife the next day, but never really told her that I figured it was a Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I just told her that I saw something weird in the bush and that I never caught a complete glimpse of, but I didn't want to worry her. Question. In your own words, describe what happened. Answer. I was basically walking down the cut line, looking ahead of myself, just going for a walk, get some exercise, stretch my legs. And I was maybe 5 blocks from the campground where we were camped. I was walking north along the cut line, and like I said, I turned around and I heard something like a crack in the bush. I was starting to look around. It was getting fairly dark out, and I had to focus for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It was getting dusk, and I had seen the head in the trees. And then it started to walk off towards the heavier bush. It seemed like it walked maybe 15 or 20 feet into a heavier bush. Then it stopped. I stopped and listened, but it didn't appear to be moving anymore. It only went on maybe another 15 or 20 feet. So I didn't really want to stick around to find out what it was. And as soon as I started walking again toward the other cut line, it started moving again. I could hear it. And it wasn't moving as fast, but it was moving. I was pretty scared, so I hightailed it out of there. I didn't run because I was afraid it might come after me. So I walked at a quick pace, checking over my shoulder. That was the end of the interview with Mr. Alf Rockledge, who actually visited my home when I lived in Calgary, Alberta back in the early 1980s to tell me this story. And just a word of note, this incident was the last of the extreme tall height reports that I'm aware of in around this area of Alberta. Thomas Steenberg, this reading ends.